composite functions are actually something that we have done. It's just you guys didn't know what a composite function. So what a composite function is, it's a combination of two functions together. So what that means is I'm going to do one function, I have one function, and then I'm going to plug it into the second function. And there's a special notation that you know which order to go in. So for instance, if I have a function f of x and a function g of x, if I wanted to combine those two, they're going to give you a composite, and it'll look like this. That's your notation for a composite function. So with this notation, notice that it's f, and then it's like a little zero, but it's in the middle, and then g. So what that means, the number that comes second is the number you start with, the function you start with. And that function, that g of x, is going to come into the f of x. So it gets plugged into the second or the outside function. And to start off with, we're just going to start basic, and we're actually going to look at equations. We're just going to start with points and just kind of see how everything maps out. Then we'll get into bigger functions and dealing with equations. So to start with, let's say that f of x, I shouldn't say f of x, in this case, because we're dealing with just points, just x. So I have a point, 1, 4, 10, 5, and 6, -3. G is then going to equal 5, 1, 4, 6, and -3, 10. Okay, so we're going to actually split this into two different things. I'm going to show you an example of the composite of f of g, and then you guys will do the reverse of that. So to start with, we're going to be looking at our x values. So with f of g here, I'm looking at, remember, it's the second one I start with, so g. I'm looking at the x values for g. So I know my x values for g are 5, 4, and -3. Okay? Cross those off. Well, when I'm looking at the point 5 for my g, where does it go to? It goes to then the y value of 1. 4 then goes to 6, and -3 then goes to 10. Well, now, when my y, so I've already gone through the 5, 4, and -3. Now I'm going to go to the 1, 6, and 10. Well, now this is where I'm already done with my g. So now I'm going to go to the f. Well, looking at this, where does 1 go to? 1 goes to 4. I'm actually just going to put 4, 5, and -3 down here at the bottom, and then we'll come to my arrows. So, okay, 1 went to 4. 10 goes to 5. So then 6 has to go to -3. So then, I'm going to start with the very beginning, the 5, 4, -3. Where did I end up at? Well, with the 5, I follow my arrow straight down to the bottom line. My 5 went to 4. The 4 went to -3. And the -3 went to 5. So right there is my bottom answer. So what you're doing, you're taking your values of your second letter, so G in this case, we took our X values and lined them up in the first row. Then I lined up their Y values. So then I was done with G. Well, then my middle row lined up with the F numbers and their X's, and they lined up with the respecting Y values. And then I got my point, my answer. So I'm actually just going to erase some of this so you guys can see the points since I crossed them out. That way you guys have an idea of where to go. Alright, so you should be mapping out the composite of G to F, and I want you guys to give me the 3 points that will be at the end. So, good luck. Alright, looking at this, I know I'm looking at the X's, so I got 1, 10, and 6, and then you're going to write down their Y values, 4, 5, and 3. I'm going to map those out. I'm done with those points. From there, I'm going to map out the G, Y. So I got 1, 6, 10. Well, 4 goes to 6, 5 goes to 1, and -3 goes to 10. So my final answer here, I have 1, 6, 10, 1, and 6, 10. Final answer. So now that we've kind of worked with the numbers a little bit, we're going to work with our equations and figuring out how to do a true composite. So our last example, I'll do one composite and then you guys do the reverse order and show me how you do. So f of x, we're going to be x plus 7. G of x is going to be x squared minus 4. So we're going to have a composite of G to F of the value of 2. So what that means is I'm going to plug 2 into the X spot once I figure out my composite and get it simplified, and I'm going to plug 2 in and see what I get. So to start off with, I know I'm working with the G first. So I know then that G of X, this G of X here is going to be plugged into the X spot in my F function. Okay? So I know that this has to equal, well, this is really x plus 7. Well, the x is now being plugged in with the x squared minus 4. Okay? Do I need to simplify anything there? No. So now I can plug the 2 values in and simplify. Plugging this into my calculator, I know I get my answer of 7. So now for you guys, you're going to do the reverse of this. Same value of 2. So you will be plugging, and with the red here, you will be plugging this into this spot, hint, hint. Okay, so good luck. Alright, like I said before, you will be plugging the x plus 7 into the x squared spot. Now, I know that we have some trouble with expanding x plus 7 squared, and that's kind of why I gave it to you guys instead of me doing it. Remember, x plus 7 is x plus 7. It's twice, so we need to make sure we're distributing. When I distribute, I get x squared plus 7x plus 7x plus 49 minus 4. And then you combine my like terms. Now that this is simplified, I can plug the 2 in. When I plug the 2 in, I find an